Okay, we're gonna go over to the habitat. This is our cat habitat that I installed for our 5 cats. 4 of them occupy this. I've got another cat that I have to keep separate, and I'm trying to work out arrangements for now in his own separate quarters. He's one of those big toms that beats up these city cats pretty easily, so I have to keep them separate. This comes from habitathaven.com. I think it is Habitat Haven anyway. Of course, the decking and install and all that I did here, and the wood that I used is aftermarket. I bought those 2x12 cedar and 2x8 cedar boards, rough sawn, to put them into the enclosures because I just felt they were more stable. You might be able to see my one cat in there. There was 3 out here just a little bit ago. Leave it to me to pick the time. There aren't that many. This is how they connect. You can see the tunnel down here at the lower. On this end it's down lower to the ground where they can hide in the brush. They seem to like having places to hide. The cages, oops, sorry, I'm not supposed to call them cages. They're enclosures. Are very bare looking when you first put them in. And in order to warm things up, the plant life really helps. And then when we added the decking, it really added a nice uh, final touch to it that I think, once the flowers continue to bloom and everything starts to grow here, I think it's going to really become something that will probably even expand. I'm thinking of pulling another tunnel out up high here and running, any number of lengths. I'm actually considering what we can do to maybe run it down the length of the fence there. I had already separated the yards when we have 2 big dogs to keep this yard free of the big things that nobody wants to step in, if you follow my train of thought. Anyway, the coffee area that we have there is where we do most of our morning greeting, with our cats usually keeping us company. Bear with me here. Walk in, show you what we've done. Some of these where we put some interesting things for them to do their claws on in there, and I've put one down here on the floor that's got some rough bark in it. And you can see the cat door and the plexiglass there that fit the window. We had it cut to fit that Anderson window so that it would go right in precisely. It actually fits better than the screen did. And I hope that shows up. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Anyway, the whole thing wasn't the cheapest route that you could probably go. I could have probably made wooden frames and done a lot of the enclosure myself using conventional fencing. Stuff you can buy, maybe 14 gauge. 11.5 gauge was the thickest I could find, and that's chain link. This is 10 gauge. These things are stout. They're solid, and I'll tell you what, it's hard. You bump into it, you know it. It's good, stiff. I highly recommend it if you have the money. You get what you pay for. I think it's worth every penny. Because if you have had the unfortunate experience of losing a pet to a tragic death when you could have prevented it, it's enough to motivate you to realize that on average you'll probably get 7 more years out of each animal to allow them to enjoy the outdoors this way in safety, where they still have full access to the house. The only drawback, if there is one, other than the expense, would be that every now and then you'll get a critter brought into the house if you're not careful. That's why we don't leave them out at night. We close it up at night ourselves just because we don't want to wake up to a mess in the morning. And we haven't awakened to any messes in the morning. We're just told by others that have these that that's a potential. So we just prevented it by not allowing it. During the day I can kind of keep an eye on them because we're here all the time. Anyway, thanks for looking.